And then I heard about you know, famous celebrities like Adele, and like Rizzle Kicks and Jessie J. They've all been to this Brit school, and I was just like, let me give it a go. Like, let me audition.
Why
let
not
me
give it
see.
a go? Yeah.
And then I realised like how competitive it was and how many people, like thousands of people applied, and there's only like 60 places or something.
Out of those thousands of people.
Yeah. Jeez. But I just thought, right, I'm just gonna like look at the brief they've given me, because it was for the musical theatre course. So they want you to be a triple threat, like singer, actor, dancer.
Okay. And that's what they were aiming for.
Yeah, that was the requirements for you to get in, like to be a singer, actor and dancer, and show that them skills within your audition. So you had to do like a monologue for acting. You had to make up your own dance routine for the dance. I was like, oh, I ain't a dancer, but I did street dance lessons as a kid, but it wasn't anything serious. Like, it was just a bit of fun. But I was just like, oh my gosh, like they want to see all these techniques in my dancing and all this stuff, and I don't have techniques yet because I haven't like done proper studying of it. And then singing was no problem. I was just like, yeah, singing's gonna be a breeze, like, because it always was for me. Like I trained from it since I was a young age, so I was just like, singing's fine. But the acting and dancing was a bit more like, a bit more in my comfort zone. But yeah, it went well, and I got through the first stage, and then I got through the second stage. I got in. Like, it was quite easy for me to get in. Like,
how long, like overall, the process from when you applied to obviously, you know, auditioning, doing everything that you need to do to actually getting in? How long was the process, just in general? In case, I don't know if Brit School that still ran is still.
It was like it was in year 11.
Oh yeah,
so
year 11.
Yeah. So you can either start there from your GCSEs, which I didn't do. I started there from sixth form. So I started there like from college age, sort of. But I auditioned the year before I started college, because I wanted to. So it's either audition for a drama school or go to sixth form and do A levels. And I was like, I know what I'd rather do. Musical theatre. So I did a BTEC in musical theatre, but it was at the Brit School, so it was a famous institution, and it was really fun. Like, you didn't have to wear school uniform. You could wear what you want. You call your teachers by their first name. It was very casual basis.
Yeah, sounds very casual. And how many years was it?
2 years.
2 years.
College, yeah.
You know what? Yeah, me proper listening to you say all of those things now. Yeah, it makes sense, because you know one thing that I realized. Yeah, like even nowadays, like there's not many good performers out there, and even in many genres. Yeah. Obviously, you've got the top tier guys like Beyonce and different like males, but just in general, overall, I feel like the art of performing. Yeah, I feel like not many artists, like you're going to say, especially up and coming ones as well. I feel like a lot of people play, you know, the backing track or whatever. And me, when I watch you, when I proper look through your page and everything, one thing now that makes sense, you got all of this experience because you're a cold performer. You just go, like, you know, like, as soon as you start performing, it's like, you just go in your own bubble.
Yeah.
And it's like, you proper, you got to understand your voice, you just, you sing, and you proper, it's like, and I don't really see that too often, like I say, like, especially like when I used to go also open mics, and obviously, you know, like when you're starting, people are a bit shy, they're coming out of their own shell, they want people to like them, but at the same time, they don't know how people are going to receive them. You know how open mic vibes are. So it's like, some people, they'll end up like overthinking, and that ends up really like affecting the performance. I used to always end up saying that, and it's like, even when I see people that I don't know online or whatever, I see like some people are quite timid and whatever, but honestly now, with everything that you said, it makes sense, like, why you're such a good performer and stuff like that. Because it's like, you could be anywhere. I see so many different, you perform in so many different venues, and it's like, you don't care. As soon as you start singing, it's like it's spiritual. It's like you're just in your own world, and it's like, I probably clocked that, man.
I think it's very, you got to be kind of, and I've learnt this ever since I started releasing music. You are a sort of, or your music is now a product. Like, you're putting it out onto the world for people to buy and stream. And with all those songs, you got to hold it together with a brand, and that brand is you as an artist. And I've just been learning. Like, I've been on courses and just watching YouTube videos and lots of TikToks and things about how you brand yourself as an artist. And for me, it is your personality. So I am Shannon, but when I'm on stage, I'm official Shannon. And I take the qualities about myself as Shannon as being authentic, voicing my truths and what I want to say about the world. In more recent times, I feel like my lyrics I've been writing have been a lot more political, because I feel very passionate about you know, a lot of political like issues and just things that are causing injustice and things like that. And you haven't heard this from my music yet, but you will. Like Dress to Please is just the start. So my latest single, Dress to Please, is all about, well, it's basically a response to like catcalling when you're out, like especially as a woman, like people can feel quite afraid to be out at night, but it's like, why should we? And it's sort of the response of like, actually I could start feeling scared and afraid and not go out of the house, or I could do this version where I'm going to dress how I want. I'm not going to listen to people that might bring me down, because they're insignificant to me. Like,
I love that mindset.
What do they matter to me? Like, okay, they're going to say comment, I'm not going to let that ruin my day. So it's sort of a bringing a positive aspect onto a negative thing that's happened to me a lot of times, but also a lot of women out there. It's happened to most women like every other day. And it's a positive way to say, actually, I'm not gonna feel scared, I'm gonna feel empowered, because I'm gonna feel empowered by my outfit choice today. I'm gonna feel empowered with my goal today. What have I set out to do today that's gonna better myself and you know, push my career forward. It's all about self-confidence really, and just believing in yourself and pushing that message of, I don't give a about what people have to say, because I'm in my own lane. I'm not in your lane. I'm staying in my own lane, and it's my own journey, so you don't get to have an opinion on that. And even if you do, like, I don't have to listen to it. But yeah, so I feel like the way my music's going at the moment, it's responding to a lot of kind of political aspects, and a lot of kind of meeting that with empowerment and self-confidence really, because that's what I'm about, and that's what I feel like, that's what my brand is becoming. And
I love that, man. I love to hear that. A lot
of people would relate with that, and my goal is to make others feel empowered, as well as myself. So like that's what I strive and set out to do. So when I do these stage performances and open mics, this is what I'm here to do. Like, I'm not scared. If I'm that scared person, I'm not Shannon singing Dress to Please. I'm Shannon wishing I could sing about that. But I'm actually official Shannon that is here to help people, empower people, and spread my message from stage to stage about what I truly believe in. And recently, so I wasn't always official Shannon. I used to be just Shannon as my artist name, and one of the reasons I changed it was because I just was getting lost as Shannon. Like, my mum named me after a singer in the 80s called Shannon. Like, there's already Shannons out there. And then and I was just like, but I don't really know what other artist name I could be. Like, Shannon, like, this is who I am. Like, that's my name. And then I was just like, my social media name was Official Shannon UK, and I was like, Official Shannon, okay, official Shannon. So official means something that's real, authentic, the truth, and this is the message I want to push out. So official really fits. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep Official Shannon UK as my social media name, but I'm going to become Official Shannon on Spotify. If you Google Official Shannon, I'm the only one that comes up, because no one else is called that. So it's just about being really authentic. And I was like, okay, it works.
Yeah.
And like, some people are like, are you sure you want to be called Official Shannon? You know, like, because some people are like, they have their like main name Shannon, and they put like official in front of it just so they know that. No, I'm like, no, it is the name. It is the name.
Yeah.
It
how
works.
long ago did you change it? How long ago?
It was only this year.
Only this year as well. Oh, and you changed it on every platform you're on. Oh, that's proper good, man.
I was scared I was going to lose my Spotify followers, but they managed to transfer across, luckily, because I know some people that changed their artist name and like they lost all their followers, but luckily my followers stuck with me. So
now big up your followers, man.
Thank you so much.
Big up your followers
for not getting lost. But yeah,
I love it, man. Like, we sitting in a room with two guitars here. Obviously, people cannot see them. You've got your one, and I've got my one in the corner. Yes. My one is collecting dust, like I said, because I haven't touched it for such a long time, yeah. And like, I wanna one of the things that I spoke of, I think the camera was off. I can't really remember in terms of like, you know, like being able to multitask in terms of like singing.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time you're playing a guitar. Obviously, again, like, the last person to really blow and go global was obviously Ed Sheeran. All of us know. And even with that, like in terms of like that kind of aspect, in terms of like more artists coming out to the forefront, you know, with guitars, really singing and touching your soul, because I like things that touch my soul. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I don't really see, once again, if there's any that I haven't really seen that are doing their thing, you can put me onto them. But for me, in my reality, I don't really see it that often. Like guitar, we used to see people who obviously making covers with guitars. Yeah, but
people start off like that.
Yeah.
And then as they get bigger, they don't need to. I think Ed Sheeran's always stuck with him and his guitar. Like even his Wembley shows, he'll be playing the guitar live with a loop pedal the whole thing.
He goes to sleep with his guitar, man. Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. Some people stick to their roots, but I think
every time.
And I've low-key found this with myself as well. I started off playing guitar and singing, but now I've met people and I've grown as an artist and I've met musicians that can play for me.
Yeah.
And now I can just focus on the vocals because I'm writing more challenging stuff for myself. I'm like, right, I could play guitar, but I could also just focus on the singing and have him play guitar. So he's playing the best for me he can play, but I'm smashing it even more on the singing because I don't have to play at the same time. But yeah, so I think there's a mixture. I think a lot of people start off singing and playing at the same time, whether it's piano and voice or guitar and voice.
Yeah.
Even bass and voice. I've seen some of those combos before.
Bass. Playing the bass and literally singing as well.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think people start off like that, but as they grow and get a band and things like that, it's very easy to drop the guitar and just focus on the vocals. So I know I like to do that. Yeah. But I think for me it depends what song I'm performing, because I have songs with the band that they've learned. And then I've got my songs that I haven't actually shown the band yet, that I'm just still playing myself, that maybe haven't been produced yet, or they're still in the raw stages. But sometimes I like to keep them raw because sometimes they actually fit better when they've just played like acoustically. So it really depends on what kind of song you have and what plans you have for it.
Yeah.
I know with Dress to Please, like I started off playing out on guitar and I was like, it's not guitar vibe, it's got to be commercial radio, like kind of alt pop song. So so I don't really play Dress to Please live myself. I get my band to do it and then I sing. Also, it's very challenging to sing. Like I don't realize it until I sing my songs that the songs I write are hard to sing. Like I'm halfway singing it, I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Like why am I writing such complex stuff? But it's like, if I didn't, that wouldn't be me. Like it wouldn't be real. Like I push myself and you can hear that in my music. Like I write challenging stuff, so yeah, I wouldn't be me if I didn't, you know.
I love that. And even with the songwrite, so basically, do you sometimes work with like ghostwriters, or you all the time you write your own songs? Because that's even another thing that I really wanted to ask you. Yeah,
so far I've written everything myself.
I'm not gonna lie, I have to give you another thing, man. Because I'm not gonna lie, for whatever reason, I literally thought like, you know what, like you wrote some songs by yourself, but at the same time, I thought you also collaborated with some people, call it ghostwriters, songwriters, whatever.
So up until like a few months ago, I wrote everything myself. In terms of amazing, man. You know, the lyrics and the music. But then with those songs I wrote myself, I would then collaborate with producers that would help me layer the music and mix it, master it, get it ready for radio and official release. But I did write everything myself, and it would just, anything extra would be from the producer's perspective, so drums and stuff like that. And more recently I've been getting my band in to record and play on top of my tracks, which has been cool. But yeah, up until recently, I've written everything myself, but in some of the songs I've got coming out next year, I have collaborated with a different producer who's an insane jazz guitarist, and he produces really cool beats as well. And I think he reached out to me on like Facebook or something, and he's heard one of my songs for now. And he was like, oh, I really love this, like I really connected with it. We had a genuine connection online, and then we met up to have a jam, and then we really clicked as musicians, and we started writing songs together. So we've got a couple songs we wrote together, and I've written the melodies and he's written the music behind it, like the beats. So it's kind of like a little bit of a different direction, and it's a little bit like little bit different for me, but I like it. Like I like what I've written, and this is where the more political stuff is coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and you
my
got some of those
songs,
with him, yeah?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I hear you,
I'd say I'm still on a political wave with my lyrics with the collaboration. So with those new songs we have coming out eventually next year,
yeah, I hear you.
you'll get to hear it all.
I hear you. And even I want to talk about a little bit about education. Obviously, I see you went university, you know. I went through some. You look like you had like a ball, man. You look like you had like a hell of a time. Me, unfortunately, when I was in school, like when I dropped out of secondary school, yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them kids who just wanted to make money.
Yeah.
You know, like you hear those stories. And growing up now, you know, obviously it's never too late to get back into education, innit? But for me, when I was in when I finished year 11, I did a little bit of sixth form, a little bit of college. But then I said, fuck this, man. And then I dropped out and I started, working. I just wanted to basically make money and live my best life, innit? But for you, like, in terms of like, for any young person, or even for any person who's who's going to be listening to this, yeah, like, why do you think, for you personally, like, why do you think education is important? And if you could advise people in terms of like maybe sticking into education or giving education a go, and obviously why, what advice would you have for them, like education-wise in general?
I'd say education is very important. I could still be doing this music thing. I wouldn't say without education, but without going to uni. Like I could still be doing this solo music venture thing because I'd say my music degree mainly helped me confidence wise and performing wise. I didn't do a solely just music course. I did musical theatre, so it was very like 90% practical, learning lines, learning shows, doing all these kind of ensemble performances and opportunities. So I kind of had a more niche education path compared to like going to school, doing A levels and doing like an academic degree. Like I didn't do the academic route, even though I was academic at school. Like I got good grades. I got like mostly A's and stuff in my GCSEs, and I was pushed to like go for like doing A levels at like really good sixth form. So I was like, it's not for me. Like I'd say education wise, like you'll hopefully like work out what it is that you're interested in when you're learning. And for me it's always been music, like from day one, like when I was like a 5-year-old, like I knew that music was always like my interest. And but then also it's okay if you don't actually know what you're interested in whilst you're studying, but if you do even a slight interest in something, even if it's extracurricular activities that isn't at school, like just kind of work out what it is you're interested in and pursue that whatever way you can. And always just listen in school, like just turn up, do what you need to do, like show up every day, do what you need to do. You might not like, I hated science, but I was there every day and I was just like don't get it, but and just show up and just kind of and always be kind to people. I think people forget that like teachers are people as well, like they're there to do their job. This might be their passion. So the way that I'm seeing music, I got a respect. Like when I turn up to my physics class, I hate physics, I don't like it at all. I got to respect that, like these physics teachers turn up to their job, their passion, and they're doing what they're set out to do.
It's true. Because even like kids these days, obviously a lot of people say like kids these days, because of once again social media, and they see other kids get rich quick or whatever, and we've got a lot of kids who they want it now. You know that kind of like that saying. A lot of kids these days, they just want it now. They're not willing. Some kids are not willing to to go university for a few years and actually study, and actually, like you said, some of them who do not know what they want to go university for a few years, and then during that university that journey, they might learn about themselves even more. I think
you've got
like what would you say to them kind of kids?
I think you've got to pinpoint that desire. If you really want something right now, what is it you want? Like you don't have to go to university, you don't have to there's not like a guidebook for life, like on how you do things. A lot of people get successful in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it takes people 10 years, sometimes it takes people 1 year. Although you might want this desire for something to happen immediately for you, you'll work out why, in terms like rather than you know, when. It's more of a why. When will, you don't know when it will happen. Like, life has a funny way of showing how it's going to show up for you.
For real,
but
man.
you got to work out why, I think, is the main question. Why you want what you want. And then use that desire and sort of itching that you have to get it, to go and just try and build on what you want, really.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
It made absolute sense, literally.